Somber thoughts. I went to visit my uncle last week, and while we were chatting, he collapsed from a severe heart attack. So I rushed to the phone and called emergency services. Within 10 minutes, an ambulance arrived, and the paramedics began examining my uncle. First, they measured his blood pressure and listened to his heartbeats with a stethoscope. Then they gave him an injection, but he remained unconscious. So they put him on a stretcher and took him to the hospital. Doctors there tried unsuccessfully to resuscitate him with cardiopulmonary resuscitation, CPR. They also tried mouth-to-mouth resuscitation and electric shocks to the heart, but to no avail. He was announced dead on arrival, DOA. I forgot to mention that on the way to the hospital, I called my mother, and she came to the hospital immediately. The doctor told us the sad news that my uncle has passed away from massive and strong stroke. My mother fainted and lost consciousness. When she came round, she was grief-stricken, sad and full of sorrow. The nurse told us that they moved my uncle's body, the deceased, to the hospital morgue. My mother called the funeral home and spoke to the director, the undertaker there. We went to see him, and she chose a suitable casket, coffin. She also asked for 5 cars to be in the cortege that followed the hearse, and ordered a wreath of flowers with a card that says, "We love you." Mom also called a newspaper to publish an obituary. She was against the idea of cremating my uncle's body in a crematorium and putting his ashes in an urn. Also, Mom wrote an epitaph to be engraved on my uncle's tombstone. She told the funeral director if she was rich enough, she would have probably built a mausoleum for my uncle's body to be buried in. During the funeral, at the church near the cemetery, which was full of mourners, the men took their hats off as a mark of respect, and some wore black bands on their left arms. A sad requiem was played, and the vicar, priest, pastor said a nice eulogy about my uncle. Many of us cried in silence without wailing. After the coffin was laid in the grave by the pall bearers, I threw a flower over it and whispered, "Goodbye, Uncle. May God have mercy on your soul. Rest in peace." After the burial, our family and friends went to my uncle's house for a wake. My mom prepared a buffet of light snacks and beverages. It was a somber occasion where all of us remembered my uncle and talked about our memories with him. Also, many friends and neighbors with tearful weeping eyes told us that they share our bereavement. 1 week later, after my uncle's funeral, the family, as heirs to his estate, went to his solicitor's office, who expressed his deepest condolences, sincere sympathies, solace and consolation to us, and read on us my uncle's will. My uncle was so kind. He left me his car. I will miss my uncle.